Wagwan, my people, if you're watching this video, the chances are that you probably want a better life for yourself. I've personally begun curating my own ideal reality, and I don't want you guys to live another day living a life that you don't actually want to be living. So in this video, I'm going to run you through exactly how I began curating my ideal reality and how you guys can do the exact same thing. This is going to be a little bit different from my normal videos because instead of just teaching you how to address the financial part of your life and get your money right, I'm going to be teaching you the mental models and the ideologies and the mindsets that you actually need to adopt and the things outside of the financial that you can actually get in place to make sure you are actually starting to align yourself with the life that you truly want to be living. And the very first thing that you need to do in order to make that happen is understand that you are the artist of your own life and you are player one. You are curating your life. You're the person who's going to build your ideal life, nobody else. Your ideal life is going to be based on intention. You need to be intentional with crafting the life that you want, and you need to take complete responsibility. You're not just going to stumble into your dream setup. It's going to take planning, work, iteration, and focus. But with that, you are going to actually start living your ideal life. It is strictly up to you to go and take what you want. Do not let anyone tell you that you need to live or behave a certain way. You can do things your way in order to get the result that you want. Obsession, obsession, obsession. Obsession is your key to greatness. Trust me. Obsession is going to be the thing that gets you the life that you want. But in order for you to actually use that obsession correctly, you need to first understand exactly what it is that you want. Now, you might be thinking everything kind of revolves around money, but there are a few things that you can actually start changing today that will help you build to your ideal life. The very first thing that you can begin changing and auditing is your environment. If there's anything about your life right now that feels stagnant or less than ideal, the chances are that is being caused by your environment. Your environment is one of the easiest things for you to change, and it is one of the most transformative things that you can actually do. Start with leaving your hometown. If you're anything like me, you grew up in a semi-small town, there's no real ambition, no drive, no competition, and there's no real wealth, and this is going to subconsciously program you to never think outside of the box, never think big, and never actually pursue anything bigger than yourself or your job. Staying in an environment like this is going to subconsciously program you to not desire more, to not chase more, to not think big, because you'll never understand the levels to the game and you'll never understand what is happening out there. But if you're in somewhere like Dubai or Miami where there is wealth everywhere and everyone is competition and everyone is destroying you, you're going to feel like you're not doing enough. And if you're in a small town, you can be doing barely anything and still be doing better than 90% of the people around you. So then you're not going to feel that sense of, damn, everyone's crushing me, I'm a bum. It's better off being around people who are absolutely crushing it and feeling like a bum, because that's going to motivate you to chase more than feeling like the top G around a bunch of nobodies. If you're in Dubai or Miami or somewhere like these cities and there's millions and millions of dollars around you everywhere you go, you are subconsciously going to understand that there is a lot of money out there, and then you're going to go ahead and make that money because you understand it's possible. If you never even see it, how can you believe that it's possible? But if you see it everywhere you go, then you're going to know for a fact that it is possible for you as well. In a small town, there's no aspirations. You're never going to meet anyone that's worth networking with. If you're in these places like I'm talking about, you might walk out your front door and bump into someone who's already huge and really worth knowing. So before you actually start working towards your dream life and before you start actually putting things in place, it is very, very crucial for you to first understand exactly what your dream life, what your ideal life is. You need to first build it mentally and understand exactly what your dream life is in your mind before you can then go and create it physically. This is exactly what I did about a year or two ago, and I still have the notes in my phone of me writing exactly what I want, and I haven't even got to it yet, but I've gotten far, far closer to my dream life by understanding exactly what it is. You need to design with complete clarity exactly what it will look like, where you'll live, what clothes you'll wear, what you'll drive, what your wife will look like, what your house will look like, what your days will look like, what your income's going to be, what your friends are going to be like. Every single detail. I mean everything. It needs to be crystal clear on exactly what your life is going to be like. You need to build this clear vision, because building it out before you have it is what is going to allow you to get it in the first place. If you don't even understand what you're after and what you're trying to gain, how can you actually get it? You're just freestyling. Then once you have it written down and you've written down exactly what you want these things to look like, then you need to start visualizing it, actually understanding exactly what it would look like in real life. And this way, you're going to anchor yourself every day throughout the day in all the actions that you take and everything that you do. You're going to anchor yourself back to that vision to remind yourself why you're working, what you're working towards, and exactly where you're going. Guys, listen, literally in May of last year, I wrote down on my mirror 10K a month and all the things I needed to do to get to that 10K a month. The next month, I hit that, and I said by the end of 2024. I would tell you my goals for this year, but I'm just going to let you see them happen and then come back and show you when I was planning the goals that I have achieved. But the reason I am telling you this is because being intentional is one of the key things in order for you to get to where you want to be. You need to be deciding exactly why you're doing specific things to get to whatever result that you're trying to get to. Once you have a super clear vision and understanding of exactly the life that you want to be living and that you will be living, then you need to put yourself in that scenario mentally, understand how you will start to feel when you're in that reality. So not only visualizing exactly what it's going to look like, but try to feel the emotion that you're going to feel when you're living that reality. When you bring in emotions and you try to feel as though you've already achieved that goal, and you bring in the emotions and how you will feel once that goal is achieved, you are programming your mind subconsciously to already be that person, and then you will inherently start to act like the person who already has those things, which will then lead you to have those things. So plan it out, write it down, understand exactly what your life's going to be, then visualize it, then feel exactly what that will feel like, and you will become. Once this is done, and once every day you can anchor yourself back to this vision and to how you will feel, then it is time to start focusing on the input. What is the input that you need to achieve this life? And by input, I mean the effort, the focus, the actions, and the habits that you need to have to live this life. Habits is kind of the main one because it's all these things combined. What habits do you have? Are they productive and are they conducive with the life that you want to be living, in terms of, are these the habits of the person who lives that life? The best way to understand what habits you need is to put yourself in the shoes of the person who's already living the life that you want to be living. So what is the person who has all the goals achieved, who is already living that life? What are their habits? Are they sitting on their phone for 8 hours a day scrolling and doing dumb shit? Or are they doing everything that he needs to be doing, whether he feels like it or not? Once again, you need to become this person before you can have the things. So understand, in order for you to live this life, you need to become the person who's living that life first. The things that you do on a daily basis is going to be who you become. So if you want to be the person who's living that ideal life, are they sitting on their phone scrolling? Are they watching porn? Are they beating their schmeat? Are they eating processed bullshit? Are they smoking weed? Are they drinking? Or are they doing everything they should be doing? Are they healthy? Do they have good habits? Do they have habits where they work, they just focus on the mission, they get jacked? If you have bad habits, you're going to have a bad life. And if you have good habits, you're going to have a good life. So as my people, your habits need to be working hard, staying on your mission, training, getting jacked, learning how to fight, deep work, eating meat, fruit, and honey, making a shit ton of money online, posting content, and just obsessing over the mission. Like I said, the best way to find out the habits that you need is by asking yourself what that version of yourself living that life would be doing. I want you to create an alternate version of yourself in your head. The person who's already living your dream life, what they do. Also, create a vision of this person. That way, every single day, if you miss gym, you go, shit, that version of me, Marcel 2.0 or whatever his name is, went to gym today. He did more work than me today. That way, you compete with that person, and inherently you will become that version of yourself that is the best version of yourself. This is going to help you have the right habits and know who you're competing with, which is the best version of yourself. But on top of that, also take some time to be real with yourself and ask yourself what your habits are at the moment. Because I guarantee if you actually vet yourself and actually question yourself on what you're spending your time on, there are a few things right now that you can cut out that you do and replace with something more productive or better, and instantly improve your life a lot. Whether it be scrolling, whether it be your diet, whether it be how lazy you are, all of these things you are probably doing at the moment, and if you just change them like that, your life will change. And for the most part, you already know what what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. So use some willpower to actually just start doing the right things, because I can sit here all day and tell you this, this, and this, and this, but at the end of the day, you're the one who probably already knows a lot of these things. You just aren't doing them. Why? Why are you not doing the things? Nearly all of the sabotage in your life is self-induced. You know you shouldn't eat that, but you do. You know you shouldn't spend 5 hours scrolling on your phone, but you do. You are self-sabotaging. Why? Find that why, because that is what's holding you back. Now, into what you're probably all expecting and struggling with, which is your finances. How do you actually get to a point where all the things you want in life, you're actually able to afford? Money doesn't solve everything, but it will fix like 90% of your problems. But once you do make a lot of money, you'll be left with all the problems that money can't solve, like emotional things, like family things, and so on. But it's going to help you an insane amount. You can look after your family, you can look after your health better, you can go where you want, you can live where you need to live, and you can actually go to the right country for you, whether that be for tax, whether that be for your health. Wherever you need to be, you can be there. Now, for me personally, when I made making money my sole priority, everything got way, way better. You need to stop villainizing money and looking at it as this evil thing. Oh no, he put money first, because you will stay poor. Understand that for you and your family to live the best possible life experience that is possible, you need money and you need freedom. Like I said previously, now that you've broken down your ideal life and you know exactly what it is that you want, you should now be able to break that down into an income. So you've got your car, you've got your house, you've got all these things. Add it up and actually calculate how much those things are going to cost you, whether you're renting or you're buying a house outright. Whatever it is that you're doing, you need to break down exactly how much money that's going to cost you yearly, monthly, and so on. Find out how much all of that stuff is going to cost you and what your income needs to be, then that is what you're going to aim for. But I would say probably just add another $1 or $2 to it, so that you're shooting above where you need to be. I've personally made anywhere between $500 to $40,000 a month, and I can tell you that the biggest change is around the $15,000 to $20,000 mark. Once you're making 5 to 7K a month online, you've got a lot more freedom, but you can't really go crazy with the lifestyle. But everything upwards from about $15,000 to $20,000 a month pretty much stays the same, aside from being able to buy crazy cars, watches, and shit like that. You've basically got the base level of freedom to live a good life. I would say for most of you, you're going to be really, really happy and living super good, even if you're just between that $50,000 to $30,000 a month, which is very, very achievable. But like I said, break down how much you need to actually live that life and then shoot for that. I personally feel like aiming for $30,000 a month is also a little bit too small, in terms of you're just thinking too small, because there's so much more possibility out there. So once you understand how much you need, start asking yourself, what are the methods and things I can do to achieve $15,000, $30,000 a month, whatever your goal is. If you want to know what I did and what I would recommend, there'll be a full free course in the description. But like I said, if you can just get to $15,000 a month, everything will get a lot easier. Honestly, the hardest part for me was getting to that first 10K month, but once you get to that, everything snowballs, everything gets a lot easier. You're just doubling down on what worked and cutting out the things that are holding you back. So guys, that is how you're going to design your dream life. Those are the first few key steps and decisions and understandings that you need in order to begin building your dream life. But guys, please do not lack this year. This is pretty much the last year we have. If you guys have been paying attention, if you've been perspicacious, you'll understand that things are about to get very, very sticky, and you need to be in a position where you can go where you need to go and do what you need to do. Make sure that you're taking the resources and the information that you're being provided with and that you have access to, and using them to build wealth and freedom. Let's get it, my people. Make sure you are actually implementing these things that I've taught you. Make sure you like this video, and until next time, stay safe. Love.